Right about here, this video, ranting about loving or hating people, is when the Schoolfeg arc really started, because it was early September that I ended up going back to school. And so before that point, you had a bunch of videos like this that were just me feeling stuck in my room. Like that was all that was going on during this time. I felt like I was completely trapped in my room. I hadn't left for like months and months except to uh, go out to the bathroom, and that was only like really late at night. My sleep schedule was really inconsistent. I had blacked out all of the windows, well, the window in my room. I was completely isolated during this time. I did every possible thing I could to leave as little as humanly possible. And that went on for like months and months. It was only when that ranting about loving or hating people video came out that we got into the school arc. Videos were very infrequent at the beginning of this. You see, I get the rant videos out because I get paid to do those. I make like this little meme video about worshipping Chads in the style of Yoshika Miyako Red, who was inspiring my content a lot at the time because I just had like no ideas, and so I was watching a lot of his videos back when his videos were good, and I was really inspired by the stuff he was doing, because it felt like, there's just this guy recording, every random story he has, and making all of these weird community videos that it felt very raw and inspiring at the time. So I started copying him a little bit. And then this video is the video where I go back to school entirely. I talk about the moment of truth, the moment that I went back to school, and I look, I forgot how I looked at this video. I look very strange, but leaves the house. Yo, what the fuck? Nietzsche was a cop. I've never been a fan of Nietzsche. I don't know what this man's on about. But yeah, this was the moment when I started to announce it. And so from there, we get this video, live streaming in high spirits, where I'm just like so excited about the idea of going to school that like I really wanted to improve and be a normal person. This is me just so excited about the idea of being a normal person. I start talking about like joining a religious tradition. The idea of becoming religious is on my mind. The idea of making normal friends is on my mind. The idea of going to college is on my mind. This is real normie stuff here. Like, I'm trying as much as I can to become a normie. Nothing but positivity here, says DZ Dog. So I'm trying really hard. And then we get into this video, International Mediocrity, where I start to like sound like a social conservative. Now, I was not a conservative at this time. I've never been right-wing. I've never had any right-wing stuff on my channel, but I start talking in a social conservative way. Like, I'm using a lot of social conservative dog whistles because I'm trying to become religious at this time. Even though, like, economically I was completely left, and on a lot of social issues I was completely left, but I was trying to talk in this kind of like nationalist way, even though all of my views were pretty much left-wing, which was weird. And then fall break happens, and then once fall break happens, I do this like 6-hour live stream that's like insane. Like, this stream is aesthetically insane, but like I'm trying, I think, yeah, I like the black and white kitchen footage as this I think this is actually one of the better streams I've ever done. Oh wow, that was back then. But this was a different era. This is me eating a lemon because there wasn't enough food because there wasn't enough food in the house, so I was eating a limit. But yeah, that was when fall break happened. So after fall break happened, I started making a whole bunch more videos. It was just video after video after video as I was enjoying my fall break, because I had time to myself at that point. Now eventually fall break ends, and I start talking about how hellish school is. Now up to this point, all of these videos are pretty decent. Now this one's forgettable, the rants are pretty forgettable. The need video is just sort of an update thing. International Mediocrity is kind of just a retarded nationalist video. Live streaming in high spirits turned out to be all for naught because I hated school again. Hello World was an okay stream. Why was the past so great? It was a decent video. Handwritten letters, masked anime robot, internet is better than real life. Like, these videos are all fine. The HN video's fine. The astral projection videos were really good. You know, and then these videos about me hating school were good. But once we get after that, something starts to kind of change, because you could say that these videos had like the theme of isolation to them, or they had the, you know, the overarching narrative of being a neat YouTube channel was a big part of their appeal. But they were original videos. They were original ideas that I was interested in as I was making them. Once we get here, however, the time I almost got Neatbox, Zombie Star, which is just a compilation of old clips, Years Without Privacy, School is Driving Me Insane, Why I'll Never Get Married, Star Goes Outside, Stop Giving Me Chat Advice, Human Behavior Patterns Are Disgusting, Why I Gave Up on Politics, Japanese Neats Don't Have Anhedonia, How I Experience Hallucinations. Like, all of these videos right here, I Want Out is another example. Those videos are just me trying to fill air. They're just me trying to make content. Because at the time, I was in a server of like 4 people with Yoshika Miyako Red and with Twisted, and I forget who the like 2 or 3 other guys were. And they were just constantly telling me to make videos, those 2 specifically. And so I wouldn't have any ideas for content, but I would try to like sit down and come up with something just so I could assail their desires and have them stop asking me. So I thought, well, what stories have I not told yet? Or what things have I maybe talked about before and could talk about from a new angle? And so that's what I did. At first, I just took old clips that I had because I came home from school that day and I was so tired that I just had no energy whatsoever to make any videos. And so I took old clips with that one. But in this one, I just, you know, took a picture and put it over audio of me talking about an old story of when I didn't have a door. I think I actually included footage of when I didn't have a door too in here from like an old vlog from the secondary channel. Yep, November 4th, 2017. This is footage of when I didn't have a door, and then I just talk about not having a door. So that was that arc, but you can sort of see the passion being instilled into my content when the snow videos occur. Because these videos, the snow videos are just made out of pure passion. Like, this is reaching the end of the Schoolfeg Arc. Because most of what the Schoolfeg Arc, and this is a point I'm getting here too soon, is it sort of has a lack of authenticity to it. Where like here you can see that I'm talking about something that I genuinely really care about, and that, you know, makes me feel such strong emotions. And in these videos, I'm so interested in what's going on and in the process of making the videos that the authenticity improves them. It doesn't feel soulless. But these videos, you know, from the Schoolfeg Arc, I know a lot of people have nostalgia for them and like that arc in my channel a lot, but the way I perceive it is a version of myself without self-awareness. And I think perhaps that was a result of the amount of involvement I had in the NEET community, which the NEET community, like, famously has very little self-awareness. So maybe in an attempt to appeal to those people, I was putting on a less self-aware version of myself. And that worked really well. As you can see, the views from this time period, especially on like a video like Why I'll Never Get Married, were really good. A lot of people liked this arc in my channel a lot, but what it was me in videos like Star Goes Outside or Japanese Neats Don't Have Anhedonia, was me overcompensating for my opinions. And what I mean by that is me exaggerating the presentation of the videos to be in a kind of meme-y and joke way, like a shitpost almost. Framing my actual views like a shitpost, or my actual experience with life like a shitpost. And so the presentation is the joke, but not necessarily the things that are being said. Or maybe the way that they're being said is part of the joke, or maybe they're being said in a more extreme way. I did a lot of this back then because I knew that a lot of the people in that community found that appealing, because that's how they actually thought. And so even though I had self-awareness about what I was saying and about how it would be perceived, it was being presented like I didn't. And that was part of the joke. So people would come across those videos and they would say like, oh yeah, you're so right. You know, I hate women as much as you do or whatever. And it's like, obviously that's a retarded opinion to have, because human beings are individuals. They're not, you know, they're not broad swaths of people that you can categorize as being inherently good or bad based on what group they go into, because if you do that, then you're siphoning potentially billions of people into into good or bad categories when you haven't met or experienced all of those billions of people. So how could you possibly know? Very silly. But people could come away from some of these videos and think that I genuinely hated women, which is obviously not the case. But you'd have to watch like my live streams or my other content to know that. If you just watch those videos that had the clickbait titles or from this era, you may get the perception that I do. And you could call me a grifter or whatever for presenting things that way, but I mean, really, it's your fault if that was the perception of me that you got from those videos, because you should be doing your own due diligence of lurking more, that thing that 4chan is supposed to have taught all of us, and see that your understanding at first glance is never going to be your understanding of what the thing is fully when you take all of the details into account. That's usually the case with everything. So the Schoolfeg Arc was a very, I don't want to say shill kind of time, because if I really wanted to be a shill, I would just go ham. I would have been making, hardcore incel content. But in the moments where I was shilling, or the moments here where I was trying to be consistent just to, again, assail the oncoming horde of Yoshika Miyako Reds asking me for more incel content, it was there. I did it. And that sort of persisted for a little while with videos like Discord is Degenerate and this video Why Men Are Better Than Women. But I stopped doing that with Brain Fog is Good, actually. And then after this video, I just sort of went back to doing whatever I wanted. I was already starting to do whatever I wanted around this time, like this video Sad Boy Star. But it was kind of like I had to be weaned off the incel bullshit, and then just go straight back into making whatever the hell I wanted to make. And so that was the Schoolfeg Arc. I was just tired constantly. I had no energy to make anything, no energy to do anything, not even to speak to people. But I forced myself to do all of it anyway, until eventually I locked myself out of Discord entirely, and then came back after like over a month of being away. And so that was a time. What a time to be alive.